Have you ever played against someone who always has the perfect cards in their hand? No, they are not psychic. They're probably just using searcher cards. Now, searcher cards let you find what you need when you need them. But did you know there are different kinds of searcher cards? So today we are breaking down 5 different kinds of searcher cards, going from Pokemon to Digimon to Yu-Gi-Oh to Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood, Hearthstone, Sorcery, Contested Realms, and even Neopets Battledome. Alright, so let's jump in. So first up we have the OG searcher cards, deck searchers. These effects let you look through your deck to grab exactly what you need. These are some of the most common card searches in TCGs because they make your decks more consistent. And which TCG goes the most crazy for deck searches? Well, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Right, so my first example is Reinforcement of the Army. It searches for any level 4 or lower warrior. This is a very specific search card where you have specified the type and the level of the card itself. Now, let's compare it to something a little bit more broad. This is Different Dimension Capsule. So with Different Dimension Capsule, you can banish one card for 2 turns and then you receive that card in your hand. There is no limitation on the type of card. It can be a spell, trap, monster card of any level, any type, whatever you want. The only hitch is the time that it takes to receive the card. Now, Different Dimension Capsule is an extreme example of what we can do with searcher cards, while Reinforcement of the Army has more limitations attached to it. But we can increase those limitations to its more specific form, and for that, I'm going to take a look at a Magic the Gathering card. Okay, so I brought up this Magic the Gathering card purely so I can attempt to pronounce the name, so bear with me one moment. Asmoranomardicadestinakuldakar. So as long as you've discarded a card this turn, you may pay mana to cast this spell. When Asmoranomardicadestinakuldakar enters, you may search your library for a card named the Underworld Cookbook, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. So these 3 cards all have different levels of deck searching power. So the first card targets a card type and level to search for, while the second card has no limitations, but you have to be patient before you retrieve it, while this last card searches for a named card specific. So if you're making your own TCG, what kind of deck search power do you feel is the best balance for your players? Is it unlimited search, card type search, or name specific search? Let me know in the comment section below. Next we have graveyard searches, because sometimes losing a card isn't the end. These searches let you grab those cards from your discard pile and give them a second chance at life. And probably the most iconic example of graveyard searches is Yu-Gi-Oh's Monster Reborn. Purely because it is played in about every single episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime.
Cause I'm gonna play Monster Reborn! You what?
I activate the magic card, Monster Reborn!
Monster Reborn!
Monster Reborn! So come forth, mighty blue-eyed shining dragon!
But here are a few examples of Monster Reborn-like cards from other TCGs. Magic the Gathering's Unburial Rites. Return a target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Sorcery Contested Realms Death Speaker. Players can cast minions from their opponent's cemetery. Neopets Battledrome's Ghostly Hot Dog. Discard a card from your inventory, add a card from your discard to your inventory. Now, Ghostly Hot Dog isn't as strong as Monster Reborn because you're returning it to your hand instead of playing it straight onto the field. But it is still nice to see other TCGs offering some form of recycling to give specific cards a second chance. Now, something else that I recycle in every video is asking people to hit that like button. So if you appreciate recycling, leave a little like. It only takes 2 seconds and then it helps other people find this video. Thank you very much. Banish Zone Searchers. Some games have a Banish, Exile, Void, Different Dimension, Out of Play Zone. And normally those cards are gone forever. Unless you've got a banner searcher, which is what we're actually covering in this section. What a weird coincidence, right? So we have a Magic the Gathering card here called Pull from Eternity. This moves an exiled card to the graveyard. Now personally, I think this is a good step to take, because when a card is out of play, it should really stay out of play. But by offering to bring it back to the graveyard means that it is now a two-step process to get it back into some usable form, whether that is bringing it back to your hand or deck, or bringing it straight to the field. And with Pull from Eternity, bringing it from exile to the graveyard, meaning that we need another card to bring it from the graveyard to the field or to your hand or to your deck, gives that extra level of tediousness. And that extra level of tedious means that out of play gameplay won't become a common practice. Now let's compare that to Different Dimension Reincarnation. Discard one card, then target one of your banished monsters. Special summon it in attack position and equip it with this card. Now this is a very strong card to have. This card wasn't even in the graveyard. It wasn't even playable technically, it was out of play. And then suddenly it is back on the field in attack mode, ready to go. But you know my feelings, so I want to throw this to you. Did Yu-Gi-Oh! Go too crazy with the out of play things, with all the different dimension cards that they brought into the game? Or should they have stayed more reserved like Magic the Gathering, making it a little bit more tedious to get cards back from out of play? Let me know in the comment section below. Random searches. Not all searches are precise. Some are a gamble. Now I have two different random searches for you today. And even though that I've put them both in the same category, they feel very different. Now first up we have Hearthstone's Banjo-Saw. Whenever this attacks, draw a beast and gain its stats. Now Hearthstone being a digital card game compared to its cardboard counterparts means that it can search for the next beast creature without players viewing any non-beast cards in their deck. This means no shuffling the deck, no scrying the top of the deck. The deck just magically provides a beast creature from within and adds it to your hand. It is completely random and impossible for a player to influence and predict. Now I want to compare this card to Pokemon's Professor's Research. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards. Now it can definitely be seen as a gamble to discard your entire hand to redraw a new hand. Of course there are no restrictions on how few cards you can have in your hand. So if you've only got 2 cards and one is Professor's Research, guess what? Trading that for 7 new cards? Not a bad trade. But as relatively low risk as it is, it's still a gamble. Now both cards offer a gamble aspect. You have Banjo-Saw that is boosted by whatever beast card you draw, but you're not sure what card you're going to draw, so how much of a strength increase are you going to get? Where with Professor's Research we are trading our old cards for brand new cards. But both of these cards don't target anything specific. We don't know what the final outcome will be, and that is why they fall into the random searches category. But these categories aren't completely rigid, are they? Because Professor's Research fits into our next category. Cycle cards. Now these cycle cards don't let you search in that typical sense, but you can burn through your deck much faster to find the cards you need. So having the power to draw 7 new cards really highlights the strengths of Professor's Research and the power of cycling cards. Because when you can't search for exactly what you want, like with Different Dimension Capsule, you are then forced to resort to the numbers game. Think of it like comparing these two cards to a rifle and a shotgun. A rifle can target a long distance from far away, when a shotgun will just hit everything in a close radius. Professor's Research is your shotgun when it comes to trading card games. While Different Dimension Capsule is your sniper rifle, you can target any one specific thing from your deck and it will be yours. Now here are some other examples of cycle cards that can be your shotguns, but they work in slightly different ways. So in the Digimon card game we have Grape Memory Boost. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 purple or green Digimon card among them to your hand and return the rest to the bottom of your deck. In Flesh and Blood we have Sink Below. Put 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. If you do, draw a card. In Sorcery Contested Realm we have Battle Mage. Whenever Battle Mage attacks and kills an enemy, you may draw a spell. Also in Sorcery Contested Realm we have Seer. As well as tapping to draw for a site, this card can search the top 2 cards and is able to move them to the bottom of the deck or leave them at the top. So I think from those examples you can see that cycle cards do vary quite a bit. Some only drawing 1 card, some drawing 7 cards. But the varying power in TCGs doesn't just stop with cycle cards. Every type of search card that we've looked at today have had varying degrees of power going from card game to card game. Now whether you are designing your own TCG or you're looking to get into a brand new TCG, you can start to see how hard it is to predict the power level of brand new cards. So I hope that analysing and categorising these searcher cards will help you better understand your TCG in the future. And that's our breakdown of the 5 essential searcher cards in TCGs. So tell me, which one was your favourite? So let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to like, subscribe and even become a member for exclusive perks. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.